All right, today we are going to start on a poem analysis assignment. This is going to take us a few days, so we're going to do it piece by piece. It's difficult. I want you to pay attention. I want you to work on your analyzing. I want you to pay attention to everything. So we're going to read several poems, and they're all about work. So in Of Mice and Men, we have our men working on the ranch. So we're going to look at some poems about women working. And we are also going to look at a poem from the Great Depression that was big during this time, called Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? About men working. So let's get started. We're going to start with Day Work by Jacqueline Woodson, and we're going to read it as we're going to listen to it as we read it. So let me get the audio on for us.
Day work. There is day work for colored women. In the mornings, their dark bodies fill the crosstown buses, taking them away from Nickeltown to the other side of Greenville, where the white people live. Our grandmother tells us this, as she sets a small hat with a topaz pin on her head, pulls white gloves over her soft brown hands. 2 days a week she joins the women, taking on the second job now that there are 4 more mouths to feed, and the money she gets from part-time teaching isn't enough anymore. I'm not ashamed, she says. Cleaning is what I know. I'm not ashamed if it feeds my children. When she returns in the evening, her hands are ashen from washing other people's clothes, most often by hand. Her ankles swollen from standing all day, making beds and sweeping floors, shaking dust from curtains, picking up after other people's children, cooking. The list goes on and on. Don't any of you ever do day work, she warns us. I'm doing it now so you don't have to. And maybe all across Nickeltown, other children are hearing this too. Get the Epsom salts, she says, leaning back into the soft brown chair, her eyes closing. When she isn't in it, Hope, Dell, and I squeeze in side by side by side, and still there's space left for one more. We fill a dishpan with warm water, pour the salts in, swirl it around, and carefully carry it to her feet. We fight to see who will get to rub the swelling from my grandmother's ankles, the smile back onto her face, the stories back into the too-quiet room. You could have eaten off the floor by the time I left this one house today, my grandmother begins, letting out a heavy sigh. But let me tell you, when I first got there, you would have thought the devil himself had come through.
All right, so now we've listened to Day Work. So let's scroll down and look at these questions. It says, answer these questions using the poem Day Work. Why does the grandmother work? And how does she feel about what she does? Use a line from the text to support what you say here. So not only do we have to answer this question using a complete sentence, but we also need to use a line from the text to support it. We need textual evidence. So let's go up and look. How does she feel about her job? Well, she says this. Well, first, we know that she has 4 more mouths to feed, and the money that she gets from her part-time teaching job isn't enough. So she has to get more work. So she's working several jobs. And she is not ashamed if it feeds my children. So how does she feel about working? She feels proud that she can supply food and whatever else her children need. I think that she feels good about it because she's able to care for her children. But I also think that she's tired from it. Look, her ankles are swollen from standing all day. Her hands are ashen. And she tells her children, don't any of you ever do day work. I'm doing it now so you don't have to. I think she's taking a lot of pride in what she's doing. But she's also recognizing it as really, really hard work. So go ahead and hit pause. And I want you to find a line that explains how you think she feels about work, and in a complete sentence, write how you think she feels about work and provide that textual evidence. Now we're going to go on to the poem Woman Work by Maya Angelou. And here she is.
Poem. So I thought that men may work from sun to sun, but women's work is never done. So I decided to write a poem about women and work.
Here it is. Some little bit of music.
Woman work. I've got the children to tend, the clothes to mend, the floor to mop, the food to shop, and then the chicken to fry, the baby to dry. I got company to feed, the garden to weed. I got the shirts to press, the tops to dress, the cane to be cut. I got to clean up this hut, then see about the sick, then the cotton to pick. Shine on me, sunshine, rain on me, rain. Fall softly dewdrops and cool my brow again. Storm, blow me from here with your fiercest wind. Let me float across the sky till I can rest again. Because I've got the children to tend, the clothes to mend, the floor to mop, the food to shop, then the chicken to fry, the baby to dry, I got cleaning to feed, the garden to weed, Fall gently, snowflakes. Cover me with white, cold, icy kisses, and let me rest tonight. Sun, rain, curving sky, mountain, oceans, leaf and stone, starshine, moon glow, you're all that I can call my own.
That was Maya Angelou reading her own poem, Woman Work. So let's talk about it. Come down and see our first question. The first question for Woman Work is, how does the shift after the first stanza change the mood of the poem? So let's talk about what a shift is. We come back up here and we look at this, and you could hear this when she read it. She read this entire first part very quickly. Why do you think she read it so quickly? She had clothes to mend, the floor to mop, food to shop, chicken to fry, the baby to dry, the company to feed, the garden to weed. She has to do all of these things in one day, right? She's working so hard. She's quickly doing it. And then we had a shift. You could hear it when she read it. If you had never heard her read it, you can see that here as well. All these are things that she has to do. Here, it's like she's resting for a minute. Shine on me, sunshine, rain on me, rain, fall softly dewdrops and cool my brow again. So this is nature. Nature, come and shine on me, rain on me, cool my brow, wipe away that sweat from all that hard work I'm doing. Storm, blow me from here with your fiercest wind and let me float across the sky till I can rest again. Give me some peace. Give me some rest, right? He's asking for rest from nature because nature is something that belongs to everybody. So I want you to take those ideas and make them your own. How does a shift after the first stanza change the mood of the poem? What is the mood up here? Remember, mood is how you feel, not the author, you. So I just described how she probably felt as she was going through this. I want you to think about how you feel when you read these words. Maybe you feel anxious, maybe you feel tired, maybe you feel like overwhelmed, right? Some of it maybe makes you feel calm, makes you feel peaceful. Think about it. You are supposed to be describing how the shift changes your mood. So what you're going to tell me your mood up here and what it shifts to when your mood gets down here. Hit pause, think about it, and write your best answer in a complete sentence. So this next question says, how does the juxtaposition of nature to the hard work the woman does affect you as the reader? Explain how and why in detail. So this means you need to know what juxtaposition is. Juxtaposition is a literary term where we're taking two different images and we're putting them side by side. Usually you'll see this in paragraph form if you're reading a novel. If you're reading a poem, then you're going to see it more like this. So we have two different images juxtaposed next to each other. We have this hard work up here, and we have nature cooling her down, giving her rest, making things peaceful down here. This is juxtaposition. We took one image up here of the hard work and one image of the rest and put it down here. So the question is asking you, how does that juxtaposition of nature to the hard work that the woman does affect you as a reader? What does it do for you as a reader reading the poem? How does it make you feel? What does it make you think about? Does it make you appreciate something more? Does it make you feel a certain way for the woman? Does it make you feel a certain way towards nature? Answer this using your own words and how it makes you feel and why it makes you feel that way. Don't just say, makes me feel calm. Tell me why. What about it makes you feel the way you do? Hit pause and do that now. So this is all we have for day one for this poetry analysis assignment. Okay, we have finished day one, which is our first two poems. So we read Day Work and we read Woman Work. Next time, we are going to read Mommy Works and Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? And we'll be answering the remaining questions.